Download our free guide, Starting Your Photo Business, at photoshelter.com/mkt/research.
Hi, this is Grover from PhotoShelter, and I am back talking with Matt UT Whatley, aka the Tax Ninja. We got him here connected via Skype to his office in San Francisco. Matthew's a tax expert. He specializes in helping small to medium-sized creative businesses and has many photographers as clients. So Matthew, we're talking about, I'm asking you some questions about things that are important to photographers just when they're starting out in the business. This question is about funding purchases of gear. So how should a recent graduate assess whether they should take out a loan or incur credit card debt when they're considering buying photo equipment?
All right, so basically there's two considerations somebody wants to have into whether or not they want to take out a loan to buy their equipment. Photographers often incur anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 in equipment expenses every 2 to 3 years. And this equipment is all completely tax deductible and can be depreciated fully in the first year you buy it. So for tax purposes, you can write off the total value of the equipment all at once. And so that can decrease your taxable income dramatically in the year you purchase it, as opposed to ordinary depreciation, which you would have to depreciate it for photo equipment over the course of like 9 years. Well, most photography equipment in this day and age doesn't even last 9 years in terms of being relevant in the industry. So regular depreciation is never really a good option. Now, the first thing to consider is not the tax aspect, it's whether or not you have any income to offset with the equipment purchase. Most people who are just getting started in a photography business might not have a whole lot of income in their first year. So if you have another job that you've kept and you've earned a lot of money throughout the year, say you make $50,000, $60,000 a year from an ordinary day job and you're segueing into photography after graduation, if you're working during school, well, whenever you have the highest income is the optimum time to buy the equipment. And this is because you will be able to decrease your total taxable income by the value of the equipment. So if you earn, say, $50,000, you spend $10,000 on a photo equipment, you're going to reduce your taxable income by $10,000. So you may save 25% of the total value of the purchase off your taxes. That may be a savings of like $2,500. Now, at the same time, if you're just getting out of school and you don't have any income to offset when you buy the equipment, the question then comes, well, if it's not going to save you a lot of money on your taxes now, can you afford to wait until you have more income to purchase the equipment? So it really comes down to looking at not just your taxes, but whether or not your business can sustain that large of a payout, and whether or not you actually need to purchase all of that equipment in the first year. So if you can go to some company like Calumet or someplace that will rent out some of the gear, maybe you need to only rent the equipment per job. That way you at least have a fixed cost associated with every single job you do, so you'll be able to afford to live and afford to get through your first year. That needs to be weighed against what you can purchase the equipment for in terms of a loan. Now, incurring credit card debt is usually a really stupid thing to do to put on any kind of small business. This is because you may pay interest rates of 10, 15, 20, 25%. 25% interest is not going to be a sustainable business practice. If you need to incur these costs and you need to take out a loan for them, a much better interest rate can be obtained through going through the Small Business Administration, the SBA, who will allow you to personal guarantee a loan and at the same time pay up to $25,000 and pay a much lower interest rate on it, maybe closer to like 8 to 10%. That's a lot more of a sustainable practice, but you have to remember too, if you're going to have to upgrade the equipment again in the next 2 to 3 years, then your business needs to be sustainable enough that it can afford to expend an average of $5,000 a year on gear and equipment, or the equipment that you purchase needs to be usable for a very long period of time. So in other words, you buy all the lenses that you need, you buy the lighting and stuff, and you just replace your camera and housing every few years. That just simple budgeting of what you need, and also just trying to figure out if your business, if you actually have to have it. It's not something if it would be nice to shoot with this lens, but it's not necessary for you to earn the money. It'd be much better for you to upgrade your skill to be able to not have to use it than to buy things that you don't actually need. Because I see a lot of photographers that they just lose all their money because they get gear happy. They just see things that they want. They think it's going to be a lot, oh, this is going to be awesome. They shoot with it. It turns out they really use the same 3 lenses all the time. That's really all they needed. That's all they should have spent the money on.
Wow. Yes, I definitely. Photographers can get gear crazy. That is absolutely true. All right. Well, thank you very much. That was great information, and I really appreciate your willingness to come and help us out.
Absolutely.